My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. In today's What Are Toxic Backlinks video, what I'd like to answer for you is what are toxic backlinks? I get this a lot. I get this question a lot. So what I want to do is I want to pull up the inventor of this phrase, of this term, of this turmoil, of this anxiety that plagues business owners, perhaps just like you. And let me give you the better explanation of what these toxicity markers are. So the question that I get is, it's clear and evident. Here, I'll pull this up. But first, before I do, let me point this out. Not this. This is a very good patent, by the way. But what I want to pull up is chrispalmer.org. If you haven't taken the time already, please, if there's anything I can help you with that is related to SEO, local business, Google Maps, if you're a business owner, you need help with SEO, I can certainly help you out. All right. You need another set of eyes. This is the button for you. If you're already a member and you're looking for something specific, this is the button for you. If you're unsure what we can do, that's the button, and take a look for yourself. Enough about me. What are toxic backlinks? Let's talk about that. All right. So on the Semrush website, right? Semrush, for those of you that, if you're watching this video, you probably know what Semrush is, right? But if you don't, this is a SEO tool, a magnificent SEO tool. In my opinion, one of the best. With that being said, on here you can see that they are going to give you very brief examples of what toxic backlinks are. They're measuring 40. Yeah, okay, I highlighted it because I knew I was going to point that out. 45 different markers. I actually think there's more than 45. But with that being said, they're in a list here. Now, the questions that I get are related mostly to this section here, all right? And this is really what I want to hone in on, because when I'm getting questions about mirror pages, link network, same page title domains, link network, right? These link network-esque questions are related to this section. So let's explain this. I'll pull up a whiteboard, all right? On this whiteboard, what we'll do is we'll talk about and give a explanation. I'm a visual learner. Most people are, right? What I can do is I can then outline and showcase to you exactly what these toxic metrics mean. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this first and foremost. I might reiterate, but at least I can give you the explanation from my understanding. All right. So with that being said, here's a description of each marker that might be regarded as a link network by Google. All right. So mirror pages. We found several identical pages on different domains linking to your site. This is a strong signal of a link network and one of the most significant toxic markers. Several identical pages. So basically what they're saying here, all right, is very simple. When you have lackluster link builders, right, and or lackluster link builders that are going to use automated means, oftentimes what will happen is a piece of content will be created, okay? And on this piece of content, they are going to link out either generally one, maybe two, maybe three times. Let's just say three times in the same section. But along with this, there's also content on this page, okay? Now, this content is then going to be duplicated hundreds of times to equal a toxic link. All right. So this would be toxic. And that is what they're meaning when they are saying or outlining to you mirror pages, because the person that's doing the link building is taking shortcuts. When you take shortcuts, you can get picked up. There is a footprint. A footprint is anything that can be picked up, like not changing Whois information or having the same IP or the same C range of IPs, right? Whatever the case may be. So when we're talking about mirror pages generally are going to show up when you're taking a piece of content and you're duplicating it numerous times and then linking to your asset. This is a mirror. All right. Moving on to the next one, a link network by URL path. Again, again, generally, these types of things are going to be nabbed because the person that is doing the link building is taking shortcuts. I mean, if we have a link network by the same URL path, this means this, all right? Let's go ahead and talk about this briefly, all right? Now, if we have URL path, let's say, for instance, that we have website.com, 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 and website.com. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 separate sites. Now, let's just say that this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I completely understand that you wouldn't be able to get a link from website 1, 2, 3, and 4. I get that. As an explanation, though, the URL path would be this. Let's say, for instance, that you have a website. And your website, here's your website. The page that you want to rank is truck accident lawyer Dallas, we'll say. Okay. This is a page on your website that you want to rank. So you go to Mr. or Mrs. Link Builder, and you are going to purchase said guest post and or niche edit. And they say, hey, I'm going to take it easy. And what I'm going to give to you is I'm going to take a shortcut and make my life easier so I can give you the links. And what they're going to do is this. They are going to say, okay, you want to rank for truck accident lawyer Dallas? Great. They're going to make a post that's what is truck accident lawyer in Dallas. Okay. And then what they're going to do is they're going to take this said post right here. Here's the post times 4. And they're going to build it to your page, Truck Accident Lawyer Dallas. And this is the URL parameter. What is Truck Accident Lawyer in Dallas? But they're going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This is a footprint. And that is what they mean when they say link network by URL path. Same page title domains. Again, shortcuts, right? I probably don't even need to reiterate this. If you're getting nabbed for these types of things, where you're grabbing links from, purchasing, acquiring, right? Getting placements, it's probably because they're taking shortcuts. All right. Same page title domains. The link comes from a domain that has a links leading to your site with the same page title as other link domains. This can be a sign of a link network. Okay. And this goes back. I can even use the same exact example as this right here, right? Because if each and every one of them is this right here, what is a truck accident lawyer? 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 This is the URL parameter, but the title is going to be the same. Why? Because when you're buying a guest post, I'm buying and trying to acquire relevance and power. The way to pass maximum amount of power is by having something that's hyper relevant to the page that I'm posting to, right? So link vendor taking shortcuts, wanting to give you what you're buying is going to say, okay, you want 4 links? Let's make the URL and the title. What does a truck accident lawyer do? Then, or in Dallas, because our page that we're trying to rank for is optimized for truck accident lawyer Dallas. That's in your title tag. That's in your URL. You get what I'm saying? We're mirroring exactly what's over here so you can get maximum benefit. Now, if you do this more than 25 times, Semrush will say, hey, you have a link network. You see? So another reason why I'm going through this with you is because, yes, there's a footprint. Yes, it can be easily found. But just because Semrush says that this is bad does not always mean that the link is bad. I think it's an absolutely, without any shadow of a doubt, a good way to identify things that could be potentially bad. But this isn't the set all be all. Okay. Now, if you start seeing stuff like this, though, numerous pages with the same URL, that's a red flag. I start seeing the same page titles over and over and over again. It's literally the same piece of content, not even spun. This is a flag. Okay. On top of that, if these things have been identified, all right, by Semrush, what parameters could be in place by Google? Okay, let's keep going here. All right, I'm going to clear this up because we did 2 explanations with this, and I think that's enough, right? All right, these are just my URLs up here at the top. Some of the things that I'm working on. There's actually another blog on the way, but I did not mention that yet. Ooh, they like this little line here. Moving on. All right. Now, same page title domains. We took care of that. Link network by GAID. GAID is an analytics code, I think. GAID, this link comes from the domain with the same Google Analytics ID as the linking domains. So, again, they took a shortcut. See, they don't want to set up individual accounts and or set up all individual. It takes time, right? Time is dollars, especially if you're dealing with someone that is offering links as a service, right? So they want to track their performance on their own sites, but they don't want to go through the extra work and time and effort that it takes in order to track these things individually and keep the footprints down, right? I've seen this numerous times before, and this is having literally the same code. So it's all in one dashboard in order to track everything with Google Analytics. I'm not able to draw out a picture of this, but I'm sure you can understand what Google Analytics is. And I'm sure you can understand that they give you a code and a dashboard, and then you can add sites. However, the ID will not change, you see? So this can be definitely a issue. All right. So moving into the next one, who is information? So what who is this. So if I write who is chrispalmer.org, okay? Who is Chris Palmer? Okay, let's try a new one. Whoever that is must hide their who is information. But here's what's hysterical though. Even though I hide it, do you think it's hard to identify who chrispalmer.org is? Anyway, maybe that was funny. I don't know. But it seemed funny to me when I was coming out of my mouth. Any case, who is? How about Semrush.com? Okay. Now let's see if they have a who is. Okay. Again, I'm very surprised nothing is showing up here. But who is a site, a website that is going to relay information related to who actually owns the domain, who's the registrar provider. There's also tools such as DNS checker. So this is an excellent tool. Inside of here, we can also see who is information. There's also another website called MX Toolbox. MX Toolbox, I believe is what it's called. Yep, mxtoolbox.com. And again, we can go and look up records like DMARC records, DNS records. We can look up who is records, who owns the website, where is it registered, what's the IP address, connected IP addresses, what's the CNET of that address. Is it a dynamic IP? Is it a static IP? How long has the domain been there? It's who is information about a website. Now, when somebody such as Chris Palmer were to have a magnitude of websites, and two, the reason why I'm even speaking about this, this is just one more network that we added. I have hundreds of websites, actually thousands of websites. We just added another, like, if anybody was curious about like, well, Chris, how do you know some of these things? Because I've failed way more times than I've succeeded, and I've made every mistake imaginable. I still make mistakes all the time. but I learn. I only make it once. But with that being said, like, I'm not going to showcase the URLs clearly, but this is just another network that we were focused on looking for topical category. I'm looking for topical category and anything that had more than 200 referring domains. This was a new scan. I think this list here, just this list, is in the hundreds range, 800, 900 domains. So what I'm getting at here is I've made dozens, hundreds of mistakes. And I'm just giving you some of the information too, as we talk about these toxicity markers that I've learned. Okay. So I hope that this is helpful so far. All right. So MX Toolbox is a great tool for checking Whois, IP, DMARC information, all types of lookups. Another cool tool, DNS checker. All right. And this will give you a lot of information. And what's great about these two platforms and tools like that is generally these types of tools also make other tools that can be very helpful for this type of information. Okay. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's keep moving on. All right. Now, Whois information? Again, link network by AdSense ID. Okay. Whomever has made this error, okay. See, here's the issue: is generally these PBN providers, they want to double dip, right? They're double dippers. So what they'll do is they're thinking, hey, business owners want sites that have traffic because for some reason they feel that traffic going to the homepage, even though they're getting a brand new guest post, is going to affect their guest post. For whatever reason, that myth is out flying around out in the interwebs is beyond me, right? Traffic and PageRank have nothing to do with one another. With that being said, when we're taking a look at the AdSense ID, this is when you have a website, if you don't know, when you sign up for Google AdSense, in order to make pennies per 1,000 views, this is a way for these PBN providers or website providers or blogs, a way for them to make extra dollars. So what they'll do is if they're selling posts or offering posts or placements or featured placements or banners or whatever they're doing, they're also on top of that, they're figuring, hey, this particular business owner, not only did they pay me for a post, but I'm going to take the time, I'm going to optimize the article. And on top of that, I'm going to see if I can get paid for the traffic that I'm also going to try to get. So this way, the site looks better because they took more time. That's a bonus. But they're trying to double dip and catch pennies while they're collecting dollars. And then they duplicate this hundreds of times, dozens of times, and then they leave a footprint of the Google AdSense ID. And then boom, bada bing, bada boom, you have more than 3 of these inside of a network, right? 3 of these on a site. Semrush sees more than 3, you're caught. Footprint. And that is this one right here. Moving into the next, multiple same root subdomains. This is why your blog spots, when you're doing blogspot work, right? Blogspots have been popular forever, right? People have tons of them. Well, for a while there, people were making mini nets with them. They still do, right? But Semrush was very easily able to see this. And let me show you in a quick view here, okay? You see, let's just say, for instance, that you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say 4. 4 seems to be the magic number, right? And what we're going to do here is we have Blogspot, right? Let me just go see something quick. All right, because I don't want it to be, I don't want to write it wrong. All right, I think it's, I have one because I post my videos on it, right? Okay. Okay, it is just .blogspot. Okay, blogspot.com. So here's what happens, all right? You have your blogspot.coms. Blogspot.com. And the reason why I'm pulling out Blogspot is because I know that it is marked as spam, right? Or very toxic. I think it's actually 100% toxic according to Semrush. So what will happen is you'll have these blogspot.coms just like this. Okay. And then you'll have website, right? Website 1, website 2, website 3, website 4. These are called subdomains, right? So you have your root domain, which is Blogspot, but then you have a subdomain. So what they're calling out here is you will have a boatload of links coming in, and they're different subdomains, right? Here, I'll show you this. These are all different websites. See, people are under the notion that subdomains are classified as unique websites. Technically speaking, it may be counted as a unique backlink, but it's not a unique referring domain, right? And we know that RD is everything, correct? This is also a reason why I just recently released a video related to Money Robot. This is why I think that Money Robot's blog sites, what you're doing is you're building subdomains. So yes, we have unique backlinks, but not unique referring domains. And this is why that network, in my opinion, got dinged. I'm doing new testing, so I can't say for sure, right? Not to disparage against a tool. Hey, it may have cool functionality, but what I'm getting at is these subdomains have the same root. When you have a bunch of links like this, all pointing, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, pointing to this site right here, right? Probably with the same content, different subdomains, unique backlinks, same referring domain. You get a bunch of these, more than say 4, I think it's more than 3. You get more than 3 of these, Semrush is going to say, hey, this is toxic. Ding. That's another ding. Okay. Hopefully that explains that to you. Okay. Subdomains are unique backlinks, but they are not unique referring domains. Okay. Now, let's talk about that one more time, though. There is a way to run reverse proxies on subdomains, and I can change the IP, right? That's not what we're talking about here, though. I have unique referring domains. It could be on a subdomain with the same root. I can change the IP of the subdomain, and now it can be perceived as unique. Most people aren't going through all of this. Or say, for instance, you have a Shopify, which is running a reverse proxy to go to your blog. It's technically 2 separate websites, okay? That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about having the same exact root domain, Blogspot for this example, and then having numerous subdomains all pointing back to my site. This is a flag. This is a toxic backlink. It's been identified. If you have more than 3 of them, you're going to get whacked, all right? The next thing is this. Multiple same root subdomains. We already just talked about that. My mistake. I didn't highlight it. And then link network by IP. This is the most common. Now, this is something that we are exploring currently related to dynamic IP ranges, such as the reverse proxies that are utilized at Cloudflare. You see, even though Cloudflare is a massive network, right? We can even talk about CloudFront. We can talk about Azure's network. We can talk about Google's. Even though these are huge, magnanimous, massive companies, right? Like just behemoths, Goliaths in the industry, they still have a set network, right? Like there's still servers somewhere. And even though you may have a dynamic IP, they're still within the same range. Now, what I noticed with the reverse proxies or Cloudflare is that it's done by region. So if your site is in X region, your dynamic IP range is going to be in this region. There's also tiers. Do you pay dollars or not? Right? The amount of people that are utilizing the dynamic IP range that are in the regions in the free tier in the United States is staggering. Right? Like if you just pull one of those IPs and go and look up to see how many different unique IPs are sitting on that or websites are sitting on that IP, it'll blow your mind. Just like Duda, I did that test with Duda. I took their 35.72 whatever. They had a 500,000 sites sitting on that IP. I was like, whoa. So all I'm getting at is this. Does it matter? Right? Like, how about the dynamic IP range? Does that matter? Because there's so many different sites that are sitting on those IPs. Plus, it's consistently changing. Does this harm me? Back to the point of this network by IP. I can build 300 different links to my site. They're different websites, but they're all sitting on the same IP. I'll still get a lift in rank. However, this is definitely a toxic marker. If I have numerous websites, different websites, but they have the same IP, this is considered toxic, and this is a dead giveaway as far as a link network. Okay? And that's what a link network by IP is. They've identified or classified a network by IP range. If you're not sure what an IP is, let me just showcase that to you. Okay? What is a IP? If for some odd reason you don't know what it is, okay? An IP is kind of like the social security number of a server, okay? I'm sure you know what a social security number is, okay? So every single server has their own identification, their own number, like a social security number or a phone number. Each of those numbers is also going to be tied to websites, okay? Now, if I have the same phone number, IP, but I have a bunch of people using it, footprint, okay? Hopefully that explains that. And that really gets me through the section that I was making this video about, right? I want to point this out. This was very, very interesting to me, and then I need to go get Whois. Down here under harmful environment, okay? When you scroll down this section here, I thought that it was very, very interesting that a public company, a great company, right, has pulled this section out. And this is very interesting here. This one right here. Frame used, the linking page contains a frame. Very interesting. I thought this was very, very interesting. Let me go get Whois. Give me one moment. And then I'd like to open the floor up to any questions related to toxic backlinks, or link building, or I'd be happy to give you a little bit of time related to anything SEO that I can help you out with. All right. So please feel free to go ahead and ask any and all questions related to link building, toxic link building, backlinks, off-page SEO, anything off-page. All right. Or if there's something that you need help with, just let me know. I'll be happy to help you. All right. I'll give you some time here. Scott Epic. Woo, back to you. Gochi Daniels. So how would this be different to a press release? Ooh, I like that question. Do you guys like the way this is split? Let me ask you a question here. Just while we're here and we're chatting, I got to go get my dog. He's losing his flipping mind. Sometimes he's 17 now, by the way. So he'll overexert himself. He'll be out there passed out. But I have a question for you. I would like you, if you could, to put either 1, 2, or 3 into the chat. And what 1, 2, or 3 is see the screen now? This is 1. This is 2. And this is 3. You let me know which one you like the best. And then I'll go back to this one. All right. I'll be right back. So 1, 2, or 3. All right. Let me know. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. inside joke. Oh, you guys heard me. I was singing to myself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2. Oh, you like that one, huh? Is that cool? That looks cool like that, huh? All right. All right, 2 it is, but I'm not going to lie here. I like to see it, Chris, so 2. 2. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, you want to know, here's the true reason why I never use this one. You want to know why? Because this is the one that everybody uses. That's the reason, you know? That's it. That it was simply that. Like, I like using this one generally because nobody has this one. Nobody uses this feature. They don't have this functionality. This is unique to this particular streaming platform, right? I'm sure there's other people, but nobody in the SEO community. Oh, I love these guys. All right. In any case, let's go ahead and answer any questions that you might have. All right. So, how would this be different to a press release? That is a phenomenal question. And Google, when they identify press releases, let me show you something. Let me explain with an example. All right. So I myself do a lot of press releases. Now, there's two facts that I want to give you. One is Google, as long as they crawl the site, this is going to be indexed in their main index, and any page rank that is going to pass has been passed. With that being said, Google also is going to not only index, but classify content for relevance and quality and yada, yada, yada. There's a trillion factors, right? Stuff that you and I don't know about. So one is it's been crawled, it's been indexed, and it's been identified as a PR, and any credit that you're going to get, whether you see it in search results or not, is being passed. The second piece of this, when we're talking about a press release, is Google, again, has already identified the type of link. And whatever credit you're going to get, you have got. But also, Google is going to only showcase what is most relevant from that release, right? So oftentimes when you do that release, even though I'm getting credit for 500, 700 links, and those links exist in the index, Google is only going to showcase 1 to 5 of these, oftentimes from the most authoritative sources. Why is that? Because Google, oftentimes it's because they're the oldest and or the most authoritative as far as referring domains or internal link flow. Let me show you what I mean. So if I look up, this is an old one, right? If I look up Chris Palmer, SEO Mastermind, I think it's something like this. I don't remember what the title is. I just want to show you something. Once I grab the title, I'll be able to showcase to you, but give me 1 second. All right, yeah, launches a book. Okay. Not my best moment in life. Side note, don't pay somebody on Fiverr to create an ebook for you. Secondly, let's move on. Here, what I will do is this though. Okay, so let's just say that we created this. This was years back, the beginning of 2022. So darn near 3 years ago, almost by now. All right, it's been years, right? I launched careers off of this. But with that being said, when we take a look at this, you can see the most authoritative. Okay. And I actually find this one to be interesting. But see the ones that are left? Global Newswire. I think I saw, these ones were omitted, but they're still there. Finance, right? Like they only, look at the ones that stuck. Not that many. Not that many. Two. the most authoritative. Hopefully that answers your question, right? Google has already spoken. They have identified that it's duplicated and or repeated content or syndicated content. Google showcases the most authoritative. Everything's been crawled, indexed, classified, and they show what's left. That's it. Now, this is a 3-year-old press release, so I'm sure a lot fell off. But what I'm getting at here is the answer, and I hope that answers it for you. Moving on. I want to point this out to you. Side note, this will probably be a short, okay? I want to showcase this to you. When you're going in and you're searching for awesome patents, I read patents all the time just to enlighten myself on terminology and thinking of like, how's Google working, right? It makes good bathroom material as well. But with that being said, when you find good patents, and these ones are great, okay? Like, especially this one, this, right? Like, check these numbers out up top here. These are excellent. This is the same one, by the way. But what I'm getting at here is when you find something that's highly valuable inside of a patent, scroll down to the very bottom, okay? And write, this is patents by Google. Now, patents by Google doesn't show them all, okay? I also want to point that out. But with that being said, you look for similar documents. Not only is the similarity going to be the assignee, but also similarity of what you're reading about. For instance, Chris is interested in site quality score, right? Like what identifies in the system, what identifies quality to the robot, right? Google can't read, Google can't see design. Like I know this without any shadow of a doubt. They're looking at rendered DOM, right? But with that being said, when you find something that's highly valuable, scroll down and look for the similar documents. This might be common sense or like, oh, but if you didn't think of this or never made it this far inside of a patent or never read a patent, I highly advise that you do it. And this is where you uncover some of the best information that you'll ever know. So hopefully that helps you out. Moving on. All right. I'm going to have to run here. I only had a little bit of time. How important? All right. This is an excellent question. We'll go back to 2 because that is the preferred. That's the preferred format, right? Preferred format. So let's go down here to Dario R. How important are backlinks in the overall SEO process? So let's just say, for instance, that SEO, my favorite explanation of things is this explanation here. All right. I use it with my son. It's the best way to visualize something, right? But here, I'll show you something. Got it. Okay. One of my favorite ways to explain things is by showcasing a this is a gallon of milk. It looks like a hand grenade. That doesn't matter. This is a gallon of milk. Inside of a gallon of milk, there are 100 lines. Okay? Let's just say. Now, in order to perform high quality SEO, out of these 100 things that you can do, there's generally about 60 things that if you repeat, these are the highest impact things. If I was going to gauge backlinks as slots on a gallon, there's 100 lines. How many slots or how full would the backlinks be in my process, right? To give you a visual representation of how important backlinks are to my overall process. Now, it's not just the backlinks or just the referring domains. It's the relevance in which these backlinks are pushing, right? Relevance is more important. If I had to explain how far this would make us filled, I would fill it up to here. All right, I'm being summoned. Plus, I don't see any questions. That's it. We talked about I'm trying to think of the word that they utilize, markers, toxic markers. More importantly, we were talking about link networks and the understanding of the link networks inside of your toxicity reports. I was asked about this and I wanted to go through each of them one by one and give you my explanation, my understanding of each of these markers. I hope that this has been helpful for you. If it has been, please let me know in the comments below. Or if you have questions after you watch this, hey, Chris, what about this? What about that? Leave it below. I answer all questions. If there's anything else I can help you out with, please feel free to reach out to me, not email, maybe text, but the best way to do it is right down below. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. You have a wonderful day. If you need proxies, Proxy Pixie, want to learn more, want to learn about tests, want to give test ideas, check out SEOmastermind.org. You need services or consultation, please feel free to visit chrispalmer.org, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.